He's wanted by Interpol. That's the world's largest international police organization. Mark England is accused of threatening a local judge, his family, and others. And he made those threats from thousands of miles away. Fox 6's Jeremy Ross has today's Wisconsin's Most Wanted.
He's racked up frequent flyer miles, jetted off to faraway places.
Mr. England is a man of resources.
But 60-year-old Mark England has carried some legal baggage on his journey.
Mr. England has fled from justice on a number of occasions and has been located in Canada, New Zealand, as well as Switzerland.
His troublesome travels began while he was divorced with joint custody of his son. England was supposed to take his child to Colorado, but instead crossed the border to Canada. He was arrested and returned to Milwaukee, where a jury convicted him of interference with custody. Marshals say it's a verdict that would turn into a voicemail vendetta.
This is Mark England speaking.
Years after the decision, England demanded a Milwaukee County judge review information he called hidden for years.
That evidence has to make its way to you, and then I expect you to act. If you do not act, this is going to spill over into personal areas, and that includes your family. What I want you to do is commiserate with the district attorney and fix this case. And if you do not, I will harm you.
He appears to be obsessed with the fact that several people conspired against him to prevent him from receiving justice.
Kevin Carr, U.S. Marshal for the Eastern District of Wisconsin, says England also launched a smear campaign against his own attorney and continues to lob threats from Switzerland, where it's very unlikely he'll be surrendered to U.S. law enforcement.
He has been in constant contact, threatening a number of these victims by telephone.
Some call the 60-year-old globetrotter resourceful, brilliant, and rich. Marshals say a millionaire with enough cash to back up his calls. By train or plane. Marshals want England's passport on pause.
We will bring him to justice.
Things were really out of hand.
Conflict intersected with chaos. The corner of 12th near Atkinson.
The next thing I know, I'm shot.
By the time investigators were on the scene March 19th,
I just lost all air.
a Milwaukee man was fighting for his life. The man accused of pulling the trigger, 20-year-old Devon Adams, was gone.
Everything went black to me.
When Darrell Wynn woke up,
I was shot once in the chest.
he was in the hospital. His scars from surgery and the bullet remain.
They told me it was seconds. I was minutes away from death.
We're real lucky that we're not talking about a homicide here.
James Thomas, investigator for the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, tells us it all started
Because of a purse.
Wynn is still coming to grips
I didn't even know that the purse existed at first.
with the handbag, triggering the shooting. He says his cousin left her purse at a home in this neighborhood. A group, including Adams, went looking for it.
They brought this guy along with them as a reinforcer.
And that's when things went downhill real fast.
Thomas says fists started to fly when the purse wasn't found.
Next thing I know, this guy pulls a gun out like 3 or 4 times. He's waving the gun around.
It's not clear if the purse was ever found. What is clear, U.S. Marshals are intent on finding Adams.
You know, the sooner we can get him off the streets, the better.
An alleged gunman leaving his mark on a victim. Violence carried out because of a carryall.
I can't wait till they catch him.
The effort targeted 3 separate counties, including right here in Milwaukee County. These types of operations can be high pressure and high risk, and law enforcement was prepared for both. This is a wake-up call.
Police!
Who is it?
At least for most.
Whoa! She won't bother you. She won't bother you. She won't bother you.
The threats for law enforcement are always different,
Get your dog. Get your dog.
but the fugitives thereafter are all too familiar.
This is called Operation Repeat Offender.
Fox 6 is the only station to ride along with U.S. Marshals during a 4-day fugitive sweep.
It's basically cooperation between us and several state, local law enforcement agencies.
Deputy Marshal Zach Kadish says the offenders thereafter have violated their probation or parole, and it's not the first time.
It's taxpayer dollars that are being wasted with, you know, these guys constantly being in and out, in and out, in and out.
23 task force members on this team head out for their first target, with the forecast in their favor.
Bad weather is usually good for us. Good weather means people are out and about, moving around, so It's a lot harder to track people down.
Their guns drawn, heavy artillery on display in the heavy rain.
Looks like they're going in now. Everybody's got, you get a visual of everywhere.
Law enforcement leaves with their fugitive, one of 27 arrests for the operation.
Good sign when they go to get the van.
As for the backgrounds of the men and women targeted,
robbery with force warrant, got a drug warrant out of Waukesha, likes drugs, more drugs.
The criminal past for the people on the run the gamut.
Looking just to clear some of the warrant backlog that we have.
Some wanted for more than a decade.
The warrant's been in the system since '96. She's 68 years old.
Oh my Lord.
She has been on the run for a long time.
It's gonna be the corner house.
On to another home where there's not only the potential of an armed fugitive.
Oh, hey there.
A familiar threat awaits.
There's a big dog in there, man.
Marshals leave without any canine casualties, but leave without their target.
Manual, it's the police, open up.
But this house call yields success.
Whoa! She won't bother you. She won't bother you. She won't bother you.
And a scare. His man's best friend quickly becomes
Get your dog. Get your dog.
a marshal's target. The canine eventually calms down and guns are drawn inside an apartment. Law enforcement enters and exits with the man they're looking for.
Hey, watch the house, man. Make sure.
Fugitives with familiar faces in familiar places for marshals. Their hope is this will be the last time they'll meet again.
We really just want everybody to go home at the end of the day.
Most albums spin at 33 or 44 revolutions per minute.
His record has been all over the place.
But law enforcement says one Milwaukee man's circled his way around the justice system.
He's a danger to the community.
43-year-old Richard Bostwick's criminal record sounds like a variety LP.
Bostwick has been convicted of everything from narcotics to burglary, robbery, theft.
But most concerning for Deputy U.S. Marshal Gary Enos is a crime Bostwick committed against a teen.
Second-degree sexual assault of a child is a child between the ages of 13 and 16. Absolutely, he is a predator.
U.S. Marshals, open the door now!
During a sex offender sweep a few months ago, law enforcement discovered he wasn't living at the Northside home he's registered at. Meaning more than a scratch on his record, it's a violation of his parole.
He's clearly running for some reason. He has this open warrant, and he's going to continue to run.
Marshals say Bostwick's tried to fool the system by collecting his mail, then signing and sending registry information back to the state, all while living somewhere he shouldn't be.
He's most likely still on the north side. He's been seen riding a bicycle to and from family and friends' houses.
Now marshals are hoping with your help, you'll face the music.
There's a reason we show you these pictures. It's because your tips often help, and they helped authorities catch 43-year-old Richard Bostwick late Monday night.
We told you about Brian Erdman this past Saturday, and around 1 this afternoon, a caller helped law enforcement take him into custody in Oconomowoc.
And another of Wisconsin's most wanted is also behind bars thanks to your help. Last Saturday, we told you about 20-year-old Robert Kinjerski.
U.S. Marshals were searching for 39-year-old Allen Young. The Milwaukee Police Department caught him last Thursday, and your tips played a role in his arrest.